Hello, Roger here. We're going to remove the advanced casting on this unit today, an old C8, L8, pardon me, and we'll be able to inspect, repair, replace parts inside. Before I get started, some people wonder, how far should my clutch actuating lever move back and forth? I don't think it moves enough, or it moves too much. I know this one is good. I've been inside. So what I'm going to do is hold a ruler against one edge. I get 3/4 of an inch movement between forward and reverse. That's all it moves out here. It moves much less inside. The clutch cup itself only moves about 40 thousandths between, in this case, between the reverse gear cone and the ring gear. Okay, I like to hold this lever forward as I pull off the advanced casting. Well, isn't it beautiful? We see the reverse gear cone, I can see clutch sliding pins, I can see a clutch cup, and this guy, I think you know, has the pinion shaft. He can be removed here. Easiest, still holding this forward, slide off the reverse gear cone. You want to see little or no wear on this ring reverse gear cone gear teeth. There is the forward reverse planetary assembly. It is sitting on the worm shaft inside. There's the worm shaft in there. Here's the spline which drives the worm shaft. Now we can rock this guy so that he pushes out on the clutch sliding pins, and we can grab off the rear spacer, the clutch cup, the clutch sliding pins, the rear spacer, and the ring gear. Well, I have this open. We can take a look. This is called a spacer spring. It puts tension on the assembly, keeps it biased, everything biased to the front end against this wear bushing. There has been several people who have converted an L to an L8. You can see the big differential gear down inside, hopefully. People ask, how do you establish end play on the two big Timken bearings that are right inside the axle housing? You have to have the forward reverse assembly out, the advanced casting off, and you go in there and you try and pry the differential side to side. If you have just a little bit of movement, you're good to go. The exact measurement is 8 to 12 thousandths, but there's no way to measure it that I know of. Okay, the forward reverse pin plate. There is a sun gear down inside in a little cage. We can't see it. I haven't pulled this one apart. The larger gears here with my thumb are orbits. They happen to be, in the case of a gravely powered unit, the same orbit gears that are used in the high-low assembly. To check their condition, try and wobble them on their pins. They'll slide back and forth a little bit, that's fine. But when they start wobbling, something's worn out. The reverse idler gears, they ride on little shoulder bolts. Reverse, reverse. Sometimes those shoulder bolts will loosen up and they run right into the orbit gear. Then you have a bit of a clash. Something needs to be fixed. Tightened, locked down. You could anchor that bolt with a couple of punch marks if you wish. That certainly wouldn't hurt anything. Okay. The reverse idler gears go into the reverse gear cone, like so. Notice that the orbits are still sticking out. They fit into the ring gear. The clutch cup will lock either the ring gear or the reverse gear cone, depending on where the shift lever is. The last thing I'd like to point out before reassembly, the clutch sliding pins have these two gear teeth. The clutch actuating shaft, I don't think you can really see it in the detail here, has one tooth on it here, one tooth on it in the opposite side. The one tooth of the actuating shaft must go into the notch of the two teeth. If you're in front of or behind, no good. Okay, let me get cleaned up a little. We'll try reassembly. We're going to try reassembly now. I've put together my clutch cup, my clutch sliding pins, my ring gear in the rear spacer. The gear cup or rear spacer has a notch in it. We have a pin up there. The notch must go in the pin. You try and orientate the one tooth on the lever so that it will just fall in as you get the pins into their proper holes. Let's see how lucky. Well, golly ollie, I got lucky. The last piece, or last two pieces, the pin plate assembly. It has no chamfer, no taper in that hole. It's a cuss-as-you-go installation. Sometimes you can get really lucky. And sometimes it'll make you cuss. Keep moving it on back until you have it in the ring gear. The orbit's in the ring gear. Last but not least, or second to last, the reverse gear cone. Make sure the reverse gear cone is over the reverse idlers. And of course, the very last is our advanced casting. Nuts and bolts, we're all done. We're good to go. Piece of cake. Thank you.